Hello, welcome back to another episode of Bite Size M365. Today, I think we're going to talk a little bit about AI Builder. Is that right, Pam?
That's absolutely right. AI Builder is probably the most exciting product that I've worked with in the last 6 months, 9 months. I've been absolutely loving it. And a lot of people don't know what AI Builder is. And a lot of times they're thinking of it as a tool they can use just to get some AI into their flows and their Power Apps. But honestly, it's really great for lots of ad hoc purposes. So I'm excited to take a look at it. So one thing I want you to know is they have AI Builder has a cheat sheet guide. So if you're trying to figure out what you can do with it, it's pretty much all in this diagram, and it's going to help you kind of think of ideas and different ways you can incorporate it. This is everything from document processing, working with images, the prompts, which are really powerful, and that's mostly what we're going to look at today, and some of the text processing. True story. Anyway, I thought it was funny. So, okay, you guys are seeing my screen. So, some examples that we're going to look at, and I only have time to show you like the quick demos, but we're going to look quickly at invoices and how quickly you can import an invoice and then just kind of automatically pull out using the pre-built models the invoice information and then some of the prompts. Let me go over to my screen.
So, if someone's using AI Builder for the first time, where would they go to look for it? What part of Microsoft Suite does this fall under?
So that's interesting. So it's part of Power Platform, but it actually exists across Power Platform. So it's available in Power Apps and Power Automate, and it's also a part of Copilot Studio. You can use AI Builder. However, it gets a little complicated because you use credits to track your consumption usage in Power Apps and Power Automate and messages in Copilot Studio.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll have to do another session where we really talk about credits and estimating and monitoring and the licensing as well, because it's a little bit confusing. It's confusing, but it's not complicated, if that makes any sense.
It does, actually. When it comes to licensing, it does. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So go back here to Power Automate. So looking at Power Automate, you have AI Hub on the left side. If you don't have AI Hub, you can click on more and you can find it here and you can just pin it. When you come into AI Hub, you're going to see kind of three buttons. Like I said, we're mostly going to look at prompts, but when you go into prompts, there's already a bunch of templates here for you that you can look at, but don't stop there. Keep going, because when you click on View All Templates, there are so many templates available to help you get started. So whether you're writing your SMART goals and you want to make sure that your goals kind of meet that SMART criteria, or you're looking for suggestions, or maybe you're reading other people's goals and you just want to quickly validate that they're SMART goals, or comparing images. I talked to somebody who was using AI Builder to compare images of a before-after job. So they took a picture before any work was done and then after, and then they were able to use a prompt to compare the two images and just detect and identify and report on any work that was done. So before we get too far into the prompts, I also want to show you, go back and let's go back to AI Hub in models. So if you aren't familiar with this, this has been around, I think, for a little while, but you can do custom extraction from documents. So let's say you have contracts or things like that where you're wanting to extract information to compare them, or you have invoices that are coming in, you want to extract information and put them into a system. When I click on extract information from invoices using that pre-built model, you can see all of this information is already worked out for you. So you can already pull out the customer ID with literally no work. And I'm going to show you that real quick. We're going to use a pre-built model in a flow. It's going to do those connections. And it's already got a flow here that you can use to run. Same thing with the Power App. It builds a Power App. You just upload the picture or the PDF file. And as soon as you do that, it's extracting that information. Okay, so let's go back to prompts. So first we're going to summarize text. And these templates are great because they already have examples in here to help. And let's talk a little bit about the window that you're seeing here. The title, you should definitely change it and give it a meaningful name for your prompts. When you click here under the ... you can clear your prompt, and then you also have the option to go into settings. In settings, you can set the temperature from 0 to 1. So 1 is going to give you a more creative response than 0. I usually leave it at 0, but it really depends on what you're using your prompt for. We're going to look in a second at the kinds of information that you can add into your prompt, and one of those is Dataverse. So you can retrieve records directly from Dataverse and defaults to 30 records. It goes all the way up to 1,000. So you can also, let's say you are looking at 1,000 records that you have in Dataverse, you can include links to the response. So that way you know where that information came from and you can track it down easily. So I'm going to close this. And this is the add content that I was just talking about. So under knowledge, you can input text, an image or a document, PowerFX, or Dataverse. So I will just kind of note out there that image or document is not currently available in GCC. That's something that you were interested in. And in text, this automatically put a placeholder here for us. So if I hit text, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to let me put in another input for text. And then I can text test and put a value in there, and then it would include that when it runs the prompt. So when we look here, they've already provided us some sample text to summarize. Perfect. So let's go ahead and test this. Okay, so now we have the model response, and this is great. We've got a nice summary here. I can also change this to GPT 4.0.01. In early preview features, you can add in an Azure AI Foundry model, and also I think they just added another model available to the drop-down list for a paid preview, so definitely keep an eye on this. Now, we didn't talk very much about credits, but you get so many credits with your Power Apps licenses and your Power Automate licenses. Those credits are pooled and they reset every month. So by pooled, I mean I have a Power Apps premium license. I get 500 credits a month, but I don't really get 500 credits a month. My tenant gets 500 credits a month. And then how the admins kind of allocate those credits is really how many credits you have access to. If you're doing something that requires lots of credits, and let me give you an example. If you run something using 4.0 Mini, you're looking at maybe 3 to 5 credits. If you're doing this same flow here with 4.0, We'll test it. You're probably looking at 40 to 60 credits a month. So you could easily go through your credits, and it can be tricky to plan for. So one thing in the Power Platform Guide, and this is on page 27. Here it is. It was close. There is a rate card builder, and so there used to be, Microsoft used to have a calculator that you could use. They don't have it out there anymore, so you can come in here and kind of figure out, like, what am I doing? What part of AI Builder am I using? What model am I using? And try to calculate out your credits. Go back here to this prompt. So one other thing that I want to point out to you is right now this is coming back as text. You can also change this to JSON. So let me go ahead and test this again. And a summary might not be the best way to format JSON, but let's say you're categorizing or extracting information, getting that in a JSON value makes it really easy to pop everything into your Power Automate flow. So that way you can take this extract something from a document, run it through your prompt, take that information and put it directly into your other system. So let me go back here, and I'm going to give you an example of a flow that I did. So what I have here is we have a mailbox that gets emails about a travel request application. And so in here, I've passed in some of the some feedback from Renata, who's having a hard time getting her travel approved. So when we click on Run a Prompt, let me edit this. This is another interesting thing. You can go into AI Hub and build out your prompts, but you can also do it from directly within the flow. So in here is the instructions that I've put together. And so with the help of there's an amazing prompt writer, the prompt agent in AI Builder. So in here you have instructions. You're telling it to formulate a response, and then we've kind of structured some output so that way we can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and test that real quick. And it's defaulting to JSON because I've already set it that way. And so now it's looked at that email that we had from Renata. It's pulled out that it is the travel request app, came from Renata. It's negative, it's urgent. And then also that, a summary of her issue. So I don't have to read the whole long email. And then lastly, we have had the prompt create a response that kind of addresses her issue, lets her know we're looking at it, and that we're going to be in touch with her. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I just passed that value into the prompt there. So when I run this, it's going to run the prompt. It's going to send me an email. And after the email, it's an email with options. So I'll have the option to either send a response or not send a response. So let's go ahead and test this. I should get an email here in just a second. Okay, so here's the response that I got, and it needs a little bit of formatting because it didn't pick up that space. So I've received requests. I've got the travel app from Renata, negative, urgent. Here's a summary. And then I have a choice to send the response or don't send it. So I've looked at this. This is a great professional response. Oh, here we go. You scroll down a little bit, you can see it with the formatting. So this is a great response, and I think it's going to make Renata feel better. So I'm going to go ahead and click send response. And then this is the email that Renata is going to get saying, just to see like, okay, we're working on it. We understand this is important and we're going to get in touch with her. So I think for things like that, where you need to quickly get out a response or need to make sure you respond to people in a kind of a clear professional way, you inform the team quickly that there's something going on that they need to look at. This is a great way to go ahead and do that. Recently, I had some data that I was working with that I needed to categorize, and I had to do, I want to say it was over 800 items that I needed to review, and I was able to build a prompt, and I think I had like 6-8 weeks to do this. I built a prompt and I went through it until I got it just right. And I think it took 46 minutes to run after I built the prompt. So really be thinking about like not just the helping you with complicated things, but helping you with just the easy, time-consuming, day-to-day things that you have to do. The one thing that I didn't show you that is really super important, and this will be it. I'm going to go back here to prompts, and I want to show you when I click on build your own prompt, new prompt. So I'm adding my knowledge here. Is this amazing Copilot prompt agent? So I'm going to say I want to write a test plan for the Power Up. That's all I'm writing. My Teams is going crazy this afternoon. Okay, so now we've kind of said this is what we're trying to do. We've given it step-by-step instructions. We've included a rationale. We have an output format. I can keep this and just go in, make any changes that I need to make. I can put my actual Power App details in here and continue to make adjustments on it until I'm happy with it. And then I can put it into a Power App or a Power Automate flow and use it however I want to use it. Run that test real quick. If you're looking for more information, the AI cheat sheet, AI Builder cheat sheet, super helpful. Power Platform Licensing Guide. This is going to give you all the information that you need to kind of figure out where am I getting my AI Builder credits. Let's see, I think it's page 5 and 6 from Power Automate. Right down here, you get 500 from Power Apps, and you want to make sure you have the latest version and all of that stuff. This is obviously a very quick demo, but if you do want to kind of go through it step by step, Daniel Christian does an amazing 7-part series, and I've watched it. It's fantastic. So I think that's it for today on AI Builder, but I'm really excited about playing with adding your model from Azure AI Foundry, and so maybe we'll get another demo of that at some point.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. We'll see you next time.